Hey, Blue Table fans, we're here with Ren.
How's it going?
Say hi, Ren. Hi, Ren. What up? So, Ren's going to tell you what he's working on and give you some helpful hints and pointers.
So what I am currently doing is working on a Lucius pattern Warhound Titan from Forge World. And the current step that I'm doing is I'm just going through all the pieces to make sure that they're all here. And B, I'll take out each piece, and as you can see here, I'm currently just cleaning all the extra flashing and stuff off, because you really want to make
now in your right hand really just then, isn't that one giant chunk of flashing?
This piece? Yes. And basically you got,
so how do you get that
piece
off? That's like an inch thick.
So with this piece right here, that is really thick. Like you cannot get it with like clippers like this and stuff. Right. And you could probably do it with some big clippers, but the thing is, resin is a little bit bitter. Like it's still a strong material, but what could happen if I just went at it with some clippers is it could break and actually fracture in kind of like this area and actually pop off, that kind of stuff, and not have to worry about fixing that with green stuff and all that stuff. But what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take just a hobby razor saw, and I'm actually going to saw this piece off.
But that's only going to go about a ½ inch deep.
Yeah. Normally I would prefer to have a thicker hobby knife.
Right. Well, Brig has one, so there's that.
I'm probably going to borrow that from
him. The other way is you could just go at it from both sides, right?
Yeah, that's the other way to do it.
Great.
It's basically you would just get it on a good solid surface, preferably if you have like one of those cutting boards. You want to kind of do it with that, but you just kind of want to brace it and just start sawing. Be careful with it. Make sure you don't get your fingers.
And put a mask on if there's a lot of dust flying around.
Yes. This, especially if you use like a Dremel
here at
this
the studio, we have regular masks available, and we also have like a gas mask style thing,
like the ones like that painters wear.
You guys have seen James in that gear.
Yes. Basically, that's just what you do with the flashing. You do need to be careful with it. I don't have a Dremel with me, but you could do it with a cutting disc too. You just gotta be careful if you were to do it with a cutting disc to not.
So how do you glue these pieces together? What is just do a dry run or an explanation.
So to glue the pieces together, usually just use super glue. The really big pieces though, you kind of want to use something stronger. One of the strongest things we found is stuff called JB Weld, but you really need to be careful with that. Like don't get it on your hands. Use some
you have to wear some rubber gloves.
And yes, all that stuff. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to clean all this stuff really well with like
you got to put it in soapy water.
Yep.
Just dish soap then.
Yeah, dish soap's the best stuff.
Here, pull out the next piece. Let's take a look.
So, and here's another example, and I'll do each piece at a time just to make sure I get them over really good, thoroughly. As you can see, this is a cockpit.
Cockpit.
A cockpit piece.
So Forge World stuff has a lot of extra resin.
Oh yes.
And by the way, that's a good thing. The reason is that they don't, they make sure that there's a full-on fill inside of the mold.
And this piece is actually a really good example of why you got to be kind of careful with your clippers. Is because I can sit there and kind of go at it like that. But the problem is that I'll pull off a chunk of the cockpit here.
Because it's an acute angle. It's like a sharp edge. So
what I'm basically going to do with that is I'm going to clip it at this kind of spot
and actually leave some of the flashing on still, right?
Yes. Okay. I'll go over here and get this piece. And
that middle one just broke off. Was that bad? And this is what Ren's talking about. You got to be careful because that middle piece just broke off. Unfortunately, it's fine.
Yeah,
it hasn't taken
I've got enough
off of
feel for it that I know when something won't
Right.
break.
Okay.
Because that's kind of what I wanted to do.
Now, a lot of times the pieces are warped. How do you deal with that?
There's a couple different ways to do it. One of the safest ways is you get a bowl, like a microwavable safe bowl, and you fill it with water, and then you just like heat it up in the microwave. That's how I always did it. Just heat it up in the microwave, and then you put the piece in the water.
Okay.
And kind of really depending on what the piece was. Say this was bent, I would put it in the water, get it malleable,
Right.
and then I would bend it back.
So you put it on something flat?
Yeah, you want to put it on something flat.
Would you put like a weight
like
on
this
it or something?
cardboard.
Okay. Something
Like I
more
would do it.
solid
I would
than
do it
that.
on the desk right here.
Okay.
Like this is really, that's really
Right.
straight already. It is a little bit, so I'll probably mess with it. But you just kind of want to go like that, get the piece straight.
So do you physically just hold it with your hands then?
Yes, you can do that, but also another way to do it is if you have a bowl of cold water.
Oh,
you don't want to have it super
that's
cold.
brilliant.
But you just
Right,
get the
'cause it
piece
might
straight, solid as you possibly
have a
can,
reaction.
dip it in the cold water a little bit.
Right, and then just hold it.
You don't want
Okay.
that microwave water too
Now that's a
hot,
good
so
tip.
it
I actually
breaks.
learned something from this. All right.
yeah.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ren. Much appreciated.
Oh, my
and
pleasure.
I'm glad
My
to have
pleasure.
you here working on this special project.
Me too.